Narrator. In a world shrouded in darkness, she emerged. A beacon of strength. A voice for the voiceless. Sojourner Truth. Born into slavery, she fought against the chains of oppression. Her story begins in the early 1800s. In New York, where freedom and bondage coexisted. Narrator. This land was her prison. A place where hope flickered like a dying flame. But even in despair, she held on to a dream. A dream of justice. A belief that truth would shatter the silence. Narrator. Her name was Isabella Bound Free. Born in 1797 to enslaved parents, she was just a child when the weight of the world pressed against her young shoulders. But the spirit of survival coursed through her veins. Narrator. Isabella. An innocent child. Yet, life's harsh lessons came swiftly. By the age of 9, she was sold.
Torn from her family, transported to an unknown place. Narrator. The name of her new master? A man known for his cruelty. She endured the unendurable. Long days of labor. Nights filled with fear. And yet, the fire within her would not extinguish. Narrator. Under that same sky, hope began to whisper. What is freedom? What does it mean to be truly alive? These questions haunted her dreams. And then came the moment of awakening. Narrator. In 1827, Isabella made a choice. She escaped, leaving behind the chains that bound her. She took on a new name. Sojourner Truth. A traveler of truth. Her journey had just begun. Narrator. Sojourner traveled from town to town. She spoke to anyone who would listen. Her voice echoed like thunder. Is not a woman entitled to her rights? Am I not a human?
Being? Narrator. She challenged the norms, defied expectations. Her words ignited flames of revolution. But the road was perilous. The world did not welcome her message. Narrator. In a land where women were often silenced, Sojourner delivered her truth. She stood in the courtroom, unyielding, facing her accusers. Injustice shone like a beacon in the night, and she was determined to expose it. Narrator. Truth is powerful, and it prevails. Her voice reverberated through the room. Every word was a battle cry. For freedom. For equality. For the rights of women and all enslaved souls. Narrator. But where did this unyielding strength come from? Let us journey back to her early life. A tale marked by struggle and resilience. Narrator. Isabella's childhood was a tapestry of pain and hope. Born
into slavery, her first memories were filled with labor. Days merged into nights, her spirit tested but never broken. Narrator. She witnessed the suffering around her. Families torn apart. Loved ones sold away into the unknown. Her heart ached with their pain. Narrator. Her mother, an embodiment of courage, spoke of freedom. Instilled a sense of identity in Isabella. Remember who you are, she would say. But the world surrounding them often drowned out those words. Narrator. Yet, even in the darkest of times, they found light. Stories of freedom whispered in hushed tones. Legends of those who dared to escape. And so, the seed of rebellion was planted in young Isabella's heart. Narrator. Isabella learned to dream. To imagine a world beyond the fields. A world where chains fell away like
autumn leaves. But her dreams clashed with reality. Narrator. When she was sold at the age of 9, that dream was shattered. Isabella was ripped from everything she knew. No longer a child. She became a commodity. A piece of property. Narrator. But in that moment, something awakened within her. A fire ignited. A defiance that would not yield. Narrator. From the ashes of despair, a warrior was born. Sojourner Truth had not yet found her voice, but her spirit roared beneath the surface. And one day, that voice would shatter the silence of oppression. Narrator. The year was 1843, and the nation was ablaze with the fierce winds of change. The abolitionist movement was gaining momentum, a collective roar against the chains of slavery binding millions. Among the throngs of activists was
Sojourner Truth, a name she had chosen to embody her mission. Her past was riddled with trauma and oppression, but now, she was poised to transform that pain into power. Narrator: Sojourner's journey began with her most challenging moment, the day she was torn from her children. The brutal reality of slavery stripped her of her maternal bond, an excruciating loss that would haunt her for years. As she stood in the market, shackled and sold, the cries of her children echoed in her heart. It was here, in this unbearable anguish, that the fire within her truly ignited. Narrator: in a society where her worth was measured by her skin and her labor, she knew she had to make a choice, to be silenced by sorrow or to rise as a voice of defiance. With each day that passed, she gathered the fragments of her shattered spirit and transformed them into resolve. It was during one of these moments of despair that she began to speak, weaving her narrative into the fabric of the abolitionist cause. Narrator: her speeches, raw and unfiltered, resonated with audiences, shattering preconceived notions of race and gender. When she stood before the crowd, she did not just speak of the injustices of slavery, she embodied the struggle. She recounted her own experiences, her voice rising above the din of societal contempt. "Ain't I a woman?" she proclaimed, challenging the very essence of womanhood in a world that sought to define her. Narrator: Sojourner Truth's fearless presence demanded attention. The pain of her past became a powerful tool for liberation, her defiance serving as a beacon for
others. She traveled the country, speaking in churches, town halls, and abolitionist meetings, igniting a fire in the hearts of those who heard her story. But it was not without peril. She faced threats from those who wished to silence her and scorn from those who questioned her right to speak at all. Narrator: yet, she pressed on, unwavering in her mission. In 1851, at the Women's Rights Convention in Akron, Ohio, she delivered one of her most powerful speeches. Standing amidst a sea of skeptical faces, she confronted the intersectionality of race and gender. Her message was simple yet profound: the fight for freedom is not exclusive, it is a collective struggle. Narrator: as she spoke, she dismantled the barriers of oppression, both for African Americans and women. The audience, once
hesitant, leaned in, captivated by her authenticity and strength. In that moment, Sojourner Truth transformed from a victim into a warrior, her words resonating with those who long for change. Narrator: Sojourner Truth's legacy extends far beyond her lifetime. In the years following her death in 1883, her name faded from mainstream memory, but her impact continued to ripple through history. In 2026, her contributions are celebrated not just as a part of the abolitionist movement, but as a cornerstone of women's rights activism. Narrator: scholars and activists reflect on her teachings, recognizing how she laid the groundwork for future generations. The rise of intersectional feminism can be traced back to her powerful assertion that race, gender, and class intertwine in the struggle for
equality. Today, her words inspire young activists, reminding them that their voices matter, that their stories have the power to incite change. Narrator: in 2026, as we confront new challenges, systemic racism, gender inequality, and social injustice, Sojourner Truth stands as a symbol of resilience and empowerment. Her life serves as a reminder that the fight for justice is ongoing, and that each generation must take up the mantle. Narrator: organizations globally now honor her legacy, holding forums and discussions that echo her call for justice. Schools incorporate her speeches into their curricula, ensuring that her lessons are not forgotten. Sojourner Truth is more than a historical figure, she is a rallying cry, an enduring spirit guiding the fight for equality in all its forms.
Narrator: her life is a testament to resilience in the face of adversity, a celebration of the human spirit's capacity to rise, to heal, and to transform. As we reflect on her journey, from a slave to a voice for the voiceless, we are reminded that our struggles are interconnected. Narrator: in the tapestry of history, Sojourner Truth's threads are woven with strength and defiance, igniting a legacy that inspires millions to this day. It is in her spirit that we find the courage to continue the fight, to elevate our voices, and to honor the struggles of those who came before us.